Hello, my friends. Why is it so important for all of us to start stretching our minds, to start opening up our hearts in order to gain access to ulterior dimensions? Now, I want to demystify dimensions. Think of them as perspectives, that's all. And so the more you gain access to different dimensions, the more perspectives you're able to include, which means that you're able to hold more energy in your body, to hold more compassion, more love in your body. It's all the same thing. So it doesn't make you better if you have more access. It just means that your biological computer, your body, has more gigabytes. Okay? It's like a phone that has 128 gigabytes or 256 gigabytes. The 256 will be able to hold more information. It'll be able to store more photos and videos because it has a greater capacity. Are you following? Now, let's use a very practical example. Let's say that you're someone who has a smaller capacity to be able to hold perspective, i.e. energy, i.e. dimensions. If someone lies to you, and it's not a serious lie or anything, but let's say they lie to you, your feathers are going to be easily ruffled, all right? Now you're going to get on your high horse, you're going to want to pick a bone with them, you're going to get super combative and confrontational and reactive. You're going to say, why did you lie to me? I trusted you, blah, 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 blah. That's because your capacity is smaller. You following? And again, I'm not talking about cheating, I'm just talking about a silly lie. Someone who has a greater capacity or a greater capability to love will consider the possibility that maybe that person lied to you because they have trauma from their past. And maybe in the past when they were honest with their mom or their dad, they would get beat, right? They would get whipped. And so then you won't get reactive. You're kindly and gently going to ask them, hey, why did you lie to me? I'm just trying to understand. And then they might say to you, you know what? I was afraid to tell you the truth. And you'll even know it wasn't personal. It was just based on their past. That's it. So how you respond to life is always, without fail, always a clear sign of where you're vibrating. If you're multi-dimensional, meaning you've gained access to many dimensions, then you're going to be less reactive. You're going to understand why things are happening the way that they are because you're intuitively going to pick up on those signals. Okay? And your heart is so big that you don't take things personally. All right? As a matter of fact, if someone was to cheat on you, you would say, hey, I understand that this happened and you probably have some things going on with you, but I don't think we're a good match. So I wish you the best of luck. And you won't leave with animosity or hostility or resentment. You're just going to be an acceptance of what's occurred. Of course, you might feel sad or you might be upset, but you're always going to process that information from within you. And it's when you process your emotions, this is really important. It's when you process your emotions on your own. Right? I'm not saying you shouldn't have a support system, but when you're willing to look at yourself, when you're willing to process that information within your own body, right? Without disrupting other people's peace or without causing problems or without causing a stir, when you graciously go through what you go through in life, right? And you process that information, which is just energy, then guess what? Your capacity to love expands. Meaning you start to stretch your mind into these ulterior dimensions. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. So your job is to not run away from the uncomfortableness that comes up in you or from the fears that arise in you. It's to actually sit with them, to feel them. And I always say this, but I don't know how seriously people take my messages, but feeling isn't just feeling. Feeling, my friends, is a technology. It's a technology. Okay? When you feel, you're utilizing a technology to expand your mind into higher consciousness, into more dimensions. And guess what happens as a product of that? You become extremely in tune, extremely intuitive. Guess what else happens? Because you have the ability to hold more dimensions or realities or energy, now you're abundant, right? Because your feathers aren't easily ruffled and you don't get stopped at, oh my God, I need to scream at someone, or oh my God, can you believe this person is talking about me? You don't get hung up on details anymore. That's the beauty of it. Because you don't live in fear anymore. You don't live with limitations anymore. So you can place your focus off of all the things that are problematic or dramatic because you've got bigger fish to fry. You have so much access dimensionally that you don't have time to get wrapped up in drama. And that's because you can hold all of that at once, right? And it's being taken care of for you. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is keep loving and loving and loving and meditating and meditating and meditating, right? So I guess my message today is, if you want to become abundant, if you want to be filled with love, if you want to attract the highest of the highest, it starts with you, my friends. You're the creator of your own life. You really are. You wanted me to say reality. See, I'm telepathic. That's because when you have access to other dimensions, you're constantly interacting in here with everyone else. I don't need to see you to interact with you. You understand? Because we all belong to the one mind. You can call it the mind of God. You can call it the mind of Source. You can call it the universal mind. We are all plugged into one mind. I am not more special than you. You're not more special than me. We're all special. And we all have this vibrational network, this dimensional network where we can swap information throughout the day. But in order to do that, we have to get rid of all our blockages. The part of us that judges people, the part of us that judges ourselves, because when we judge ourselves, guess what we do? We cap our dimensional access. We limit our ability to tap into all this information because we get hung up on details. Oh my God, can you believe she's doing this to me? Oh my God, da 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 da. So then it blocks our ability to process more information. I hope this helps you. So keep your heart open. Take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for how you respond to life. It's your response ability, your ability to respond positively, your ability to respond graciously and lovingly. And when you do that, you will naturally start to open up into these other dimensions. And when you do that, you'll become an unstoppable force because you won't be easily rattled anymore. Okay? You won't get hung up on details. I speak to so many people who are like, Phil, I don't know what to do next. Blah, 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 blah. That's because you're stuck on details because you don't understand the power that's inside of you. When you're in your power, when you are ensconced in your being, at the center of your being, you don't look for anything anymore. You're interacting and interfacing with your internal world, which is the entire universe. You don't have time to focus on the external world. That would distract you from doing this internal work where you flick all these light switches on within you and whoo, my God, I can see so much and I can feel so much and I can pick up on all these signals and I know exactly what to do and when to do just through the state of pure being and keeping your gaze inward. You have to flip your eyes where you're looking inside of yourself throughout the day because the entire world is happening within you. Right? When you walk by someone, don't you feel something? That's because it's happening within you. And that's lending you an opportunity to upgrade yourself, to move into higher dimensions. I love you guys so much. You got this.